tener. Do y'all remember what tener means?
To have.
To have, yeah.
Good job.
Ser, what does ser mean? There you go. And then costar, what does costar mean?
Cost.
Okay, so when we're comparing, just keep in mind some of these things can be there. Do y'all know what all these words mean, or do we need to go over some of them?
Reunions.
Yeah. So, no, miembros. Miembros, that means people. How many people are in the meeting? 20 reuniones al año, what does that mean?
Times a year.
That's how many meetings they have. Un club para todos, what does that mean?
They meet every day.
No. Un club para todos.
A club. Something. Every club.
A club for everyone.
There you go. So it's a club for everyone. So you don't have to have like a certain expectation to join. What about when it says 8 actividades cada año?
8 activities. Every year.
There you go. So during the whole year they have to complete 8 activities.
8 activities every day.
Alright, so what we're gonna do is we're gonna make some more sentences, but there's an example. The first one, it says el club de ajedrez es tan popular como el club de fotografía. So how do we know that the club, the chess club, is as popular as the photography club? What is something that they have similar that's highlighted on both of them?
The members. And
For the club of, well, this one has 16 and this one has 27. What else? I mean, sorry, photography. Photography has 16 and the club has 27. What's something else they have in common? Why would they say it's popular?
Wait, I'm really lost.
Yeah.
You said the chess club and the photo club.
Sorry.
And you were okay. That's
Sorry, it was my bad. I was thinking Spanish.
About
Okay.
16 members.
Yeah, so we're looking at these two. Sorry.
Okay.
I confused myself. Sorry. Okay, so if we're just looking at these two, why do they think it's popular?
Because they have the same number of members.
Okay, they have the same number of members. What else?
They're also recreativo.
they have the same
Okay, so they have the same amount of activities. So what we're going to do is we're going to make our own sentence, and here are kind of like different variations that we can do. So A is going to be whenever we talk about which club, and then we're going to have to put a verb. And we could put either tener, costar, or ser, but we're going to have to conjugate it. And then we're going to have to say tanto or tan. Do y'all remember what that means?
Yeah, that means
Is as. And then we're going to have a noun or adjective, so like popular. And then we're going to have to compare it to something. And that's what B is going to be. So that's going to be the other club that it's compared to. Does that make sense? So we're going to have, because it's a comparison. So we're going to pick one club, say why is it the same as the other club.
So if I said the chess club has the same members as the photo club.
Well, we would have to say why. So the reason that it says el club de ajedrez es tan popular, it's just as popular, just like the club of photography. So we're gonna have to look up here. So which one do you guys want to start with?
Okay. Let's.
Which club?
Spanish and photography. No, not Spanish. What are you talking about?
We're gonna do Spanish at all, right?
You can do Spanish if you want.
Photography. To start off.
Okay, so we can do.
What are you doing, Kidney?
I'm trying to live.
So el club.
Club de fotografía.
Okay, so what do you want to say about the photography club?
It has the same amount of members as the chess club.
Yeah. That it has the same amount of members as the chess club.
So.
Or you could say the club of photography is a club for everyone, like the club of Spanish.
So we could say that the club for photography is just as popular as the club for Spanish?
Yes.
Yeah.
Okay, so if we wanted to kind of look at this one, how would we write it? So now we need a verb. What would our verb be? So we would say están. And then what's our adjective?
Popular.
Popular. It's like which club?
Como el club de español. Wait, why? No, it's no. It shouldn't be español. That would be if we did español. It should be no están.
No, because it's comparing the two things that are like between Spanish and photography.
So if we're looking at photography and we're looking at Spanish, they both have clubs that let everyone join.
But
So they're
the
just as
Spanish
popular.
club has more members than the photography.
So it's not as popular.
So I would say Spanish club would be more popular.
Yeah.
We can make a sentence that says the Spanish is more popular.
That would make more sense than
I'm really lost.
what they're just as
I don't-
popular.
No, we're just why do you have to make it complicated? I could just say
It
that
has
this
to
is
make
popular.
sense.
It
It
doesn't
doesn't
make
make
Sense to make up sentences.
But popular can also mean that it's everyone can join.
Okay. It's just as popular
Let's
because
keep the
everyone
sentence.
can win either. Because I'm
We
like
can keep the
talking
sentence
about,
and then
like,
we can make one that makes sense for you. Do you want to do that?
Okay. Yeah.
Okay. So if we wanted to say, what would you want to say? Or what would you want to say? That something is more popular?
Yes, like the Spanish club is more popular than the photography club.
Okay.
Like in popular as more
So
people
not
are in
in
it.
that sense at all.
No, we
No, you can do it if you want. I just have to-
Oh, I have a stick. I have an oops stick.
El club de
So you want to do the club of Spanish? The Spanish club? Okay. So if we do
That's really good.
Because remember, this is a comparison, so you're trying to compare the different clubs. So what about the clubs?
really stupid. Popular.
Is this
Como.
K. Stop working. And club, L club de photography. What are you doing?
Okay, so does that sentence make better sense for some people?
Yes.
We're still comparing. So who wants to translate it? What would it say in English?
Spanish club is
More popular than because the oops.
These are the different like combinations that you can do. So if you want to say that they're alike, then you would say como. But if you want to say that like something is more popular or something is less popular, or you can even say it has more people or less people, then you could do más or menos. Do y'all remember what más or menos means? Más means more, and then menos means less. Yeah.
Okay.
So that's when, like, if you wanted to make another sentence using tiene, that's when you would talk about the members. Do y'all want to try one using tiene?
Can you go back down so it looks like the oops stick for it?
Tell me if you guys, whenever you guys are done with this
Stop
sentence.
it, you're wasting my oops stick.
No.
Does it make sense, or are you guys still confused?
It makes sense to me.
Makes sense to me.
Just tell me if you're still confused. I can go slower.
okay. Done.
Sometimes it makes more sense to me because I already know Spanish, but... Alright, you guys are good? Okay, so let's try using one with tiene. So, what would we talk about if we're gonna do tiene?
The Spanish club has a
It's called the Katie Russell stick now. Because Katie Russell makes more
chess
oops.
club.
So if we're using tiene, what are we talking about? We can talk about the members. So then, which two clubs do you guys want to talk about?
The photography and the chess.
What do you want to talk about?
Photography.
Spanish and chess. Okay. So Spanish has 27, and chess has 16. So what do you guys want to say? How do you guys want to make your
Spanish has
sentence?
more members than chess.
De español.
Okay. So el club de español. We gotta put a verb. Which verb? If we're using tener, how would you conjugate it? So el club de español tiene. What do we want to say? Remember, we're comparing it. So does it have more or less than the chess club?
More.
That's more, so that's where we would put el club de español tiene más. And then what do they have more of? Miembros. Then what club? Which in Spanish? You can even put two if you want. If you want at the end, you could say que el club de ajedrez and el club de juego y fotografía. Which one do you want to do?
Address.
Address.
How do you say chess again?
Ajedrez. You kind of like gotta do this thing with a J, but you could just say ajedrez. So does that sentence make sense? How would you say it in English?
Spanish club has more members than the chess club.
You want to do another one with costar? What does costar mean?
Because
You want to do one with that one?
the $12.
Because on the bottom it tells you how much each costs. Which two do you want to do?
I think so.
The photography club, no, the Spanish club has less, costs less than the photography club.
Yeah.
Did everyone get this sentence down? Yes. Yes. All right. So which club do you guys want to start with first? Spanish. Oh, really? Like Spanish. Huh?
And we all like draw these little squiggly things.
Yes.
The little squiggly above the end.
Espanol.
Alright, so el club de español, and we're gonna have to conjugate our verb costar. How would we conjugate it? It's an irregular one because we gotta add vowels that weren't there before. Not cueste. How does it end? Cuesta. So el club de español cuesta. And we wanted to say, is it more or less?
Menos.
Okay, so if we do menos, menos que. Good. That's like our little transition. And then we're gonna say which club costs less, or which club costs more. So then we would say el club de español cuesta menos que el club de.
You kept singing it to this.
El club de español cuesta menos que el club de fotografía. So what is that in English?
So we don't have to put a word between menos and K. Because on the other one we did.
No, because on this one,
Katie Russell was singing.
so on this little section,
So you
this
started
is kind of like the
singing
formula. If you guys want, like kind of on the top of this paper,
Oh,
these are like the formulas that Miss Acosta have made for you, and that's just a reference for you to write more sentences. So sometimes you don't have to put the same things. On the first two, if you're talking about tanto or tan, you have to put something in between tanto and como. But if you're just saying it's more or less, you don't have to put anything in the middle. If that makes sense. Do you guys have to do one more sentence?
Yes, please.
2 more? Okay. Do you want to do the last 2?
Yes.
Okay. What else do you guys want to talk about?
Let's talk about the activities.
Meetings they have.
Right. I know you guys want to do the club of Spanish. What else do you guys want to compare?
Let's switch it up. Let's do photography and chess.
Okay, so if we did photography and chess, and you guys want to talk about what?
The club
Activities.
photography is just popular.
So you want to talk about the activities?
Yeah.
So they each have 8 every year. So they're going to be the same. So we can say el club de what do you guys want to say?
It's
So el club de fotografía es tan popular como which club? Which club?
Why is my pen beside me?
So what would it be in English?
Just popular.
Okay, so something, did you guys get this one down? Yeah? Okay. So something else that we can do is, instead of just saying how popular it is, we can talk about, so like this one where it says, es un club recreativo, what does that mean? Up here where it's talking about the photography club and the chess club, and it says es un club recreativo, what does that mean? It kind of sounds like the English word.
Like the recreation.
There you go, recreational. So we can actually talk about it down here where we can say el club de ajedrez es tan recreativo como el club de whatever. So what do you? How would we construct that sentence if we wanted to talk about how recreational the club is?
A club de photograph. Yeah.
Texas? Question mark?
El club de fotografía
Is
Just be like,
John and
being what? She hates me.
recreativo como el club de ajedrez.
So does that sentence make sense? What does it mean in English?
The photography club is as recreational as the chess.
Did you guys get all of them? All the spaces? Did they turn it into your Miss Costa?
In the folder over there.
Alright. You guys can turn it in if you want to. If no one has, like, if you need an extra one, just let me know so we can do it.